Imagine getting ready for a mandatory emissions test, feeling confident, and then bam, the check engine light flickers on. Or even worse, you fail the test because of a sensor you have probably never heard of. That is the frustration of the P2219 code. This code points directly to the nitrogen oxide, or NOx, sensor heater control circuit on bank 2. Let me break that down. Your diesel engine produces NOx, which is terrible for smog and acid rain. To stop this, your truck uses special sensors to measure these levels so the computer can adjust the fuel mixture. But here's the catch. These sensors are made of ceramic and zirconia, and they do not work until they're extremely hot. We're talking hundreds of degrees. Since waiting for the exhaust gas to heat them up takes too long, these sensors have built-in little electric heaters to get them ready to work the second you start the engine. When the engine control module, the ECM, notices that the voltage going to this heater on bank 2 is lower than it should be, it triggers this code. Remember, bank 2 is the side opposite cylinder number 1. If you have a straight 6 engine, you might still have 2 banks, depending on how your exhaust manifold is split. So always check your service manual. While this is labeled as medium severity, it is a big deal for the environment and your inspection sticker. Symptoms are usually subtle. You might not feel a loss of power, but you'll likely see that intermittent check engine light. So why does this happen? The most common cause is the sensor itself just giving up the ghost. Living inside a diesel exhaust pipe is a brutal life. However, before you go spending hundreds on a new sensor, check the basic. Look at the connector. Is there water inside? Are the little metal tabs broken? Also, look at the wiring harness. Since it runs near the hot exhaust, melted insulation is super common. Here's a pro tip that a lot of people miss. Check for soot. If you have an aftermarket tuner on your truck to roll coal or boost power, you're likely dumping way more soot than the sensor can handle. This soot coats the sensor and can cause it to fail prematurely. If you're tuned, you might need to clean the sensor and dial back the tuning to factory specs. Also, do not forget to check your ECM for water damage. Sometimes a leaky windshield seal drips water right onto the computer inside the cabin, causing shorts. If you do replace the sensor, remember that on many modern trucks, you can't just plug and play. You might need to tell the computer there's a new sensor, which sometimes requires a trip to the dealer or a high-end scan tool.